Good evening and welcome to the news at 6. I'm Tracy Shilchi, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you all the day's top developing stories, starting with the headlines. Congress takes the JNU row to President Pranab Mukherjee. Party Vice President Rahul Gandhi says voices of dissent are being suppressed in the country. Kanhaiya Kumars' petition for bail in Supreme Court to be heard on Friday. JNU students continue their protests, take out a march in the national capital. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses farmers in Madhya Pradesh, urges farmers to utilize the crop insurance scheme. CPIM signals it is ready for an alliance with the Congress in West Bengal, says it must focus on bringing together democratic forces. And 28 people are killed as blasts rock Turkey's capital Ankara. Turkey blames Kurdish militants for the attack. Top story this evening, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi has accused the BJP-led central government of trying to impose RSS ideology on the youth of the country. He said that incidents like the suicide of Rohit Vemla in the Hyderabad Central University and the arrest of the JNU Students' Union president in Delhi is directly connected with the design of the BJP and the RSS to communalize the country. Rahul Gandhi met President Pranab Mukherjee on Thursday to take the issue of JNU Students' Union president Kanhaiya Kumars' arrest.
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi met President Pranab Mukherjee on Thursday. After the meeting, Gandhi said the voices of dissent were being suppressed in the country. Hitting out at the government and the BJP, Rahul Gandhi also said that anyone who did not support the RSS ideology was considered anti-national.
जो हिंदुस्तान के युवा हैं, उनके अंदर ऊर्जा है, अलग-अलग सोच है, अलग-अलग सेंटिमेंट्स हैं, उनको एक विचारधारा से दबाने हम आरएसएस को नहीं दबाने देंगे। आरएसएस पूरे देश के स्टूडेंट्स के ऊपर एक सोच थोपना चाहती है।
The Congress Vice President also replied to the allegations made against him. He said any anti-national person or organization must be dealt with within the framework of the law of the land. But that does not mean one ideology could be imposed on everyone.
देश प्रेम मेरे खून में है, मेरे दिल में है। मेरे पास इसको छोड़ के कुछ नहीं है। अगर किसी ने देश के खिलाफ कुछ किया, कहा, तो सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
Rahul Gandhi has been quite vocal about JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumars' arrest and Rohit Vemula's suicide at Hyderabad University. He went to both these campuses to show support for those who oppose the government on these two issues. Shyam Sundar's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, away from the controversy in the national capital, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today addressed a Kisan Kalyan Mela at Sehor district in Madhya Pradesh. Modi urged farmers to utilize the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, which he said will provide insurance for any farmer whose crop was destroyed due to weather conditions. The Prime Minister also announced the digital platform of National Agriculture Market, which will be launched on the 14th of April, the birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar.
A digital platform for farmers that will go online from 14th of April is among the key initiatives that Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled at a rally in the Sehor district of Madhya Pradesh. He also promised to ensure that the income of farmers is doubled by 2022. Pitching for startup initiatives in the agriculture sector, Modi also highlighted recent initiatives like the Prime Minister's crop insurance scheme, soil health card scheme and others. Modi pushed for more use of modern technology along with the traditional wisdom. Under the e-agri platform, the government is working towards integrating all the 585 wholesale mandis of the country by 2018 in a phased manner. 200 crore rupees have been earmarked for the work till date. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, back to the capital, and JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumars approached the Supreme Court on Thursday seeking bail. He told the court that his life was in danger and sought protection. Kumar's plea will be heard on Friday. Meanwhile, his fellow students at JNU took out a protest march ignoring appeals from Vice-Chancellor Jagdish Kumar. And in another development, the Bar Council of India is probing the incidents of violence at the Patiala House Court complex, promising action against guilty lawyers.
JNU-SU President Kanhaiya Kumar's bail plea will be heard on Friday. Kumar was arrested on sedition charges on 13th of February. His bail plea was mentioned before a bench of Justices J. Chelameswar and A.M. Sapre. In his petition, Kumar said there was no need for his custodial interrogation as he has already been sent to judicial custody. The Students' Union President also submitted that there was a threat to his life and asked the Apex Court to intervene to safeguard his life. Meanwhile, students of the Jawaharlal Nehru University held a protest march in the national capital. They are demanding Kanhaiya Kumar's release and dropping of the sedition charges against him.
डिमांड एकदम स्पष्ट है कि पहली बात तो कॉमरेड कन्हैया को रिलीज किया जाए। जिन भी छात्रों पर सेडिशन के चार्जेस लगे हैं, सब छात्रों से सेडिशन के चार्जेस वापस लिए जाए। और जेएनयू का जो टारगेटिंग चल रहा है, जो बदनामी जिस तरह से चल रही है, जिस तरह से ब्रांड करने की कोशिश की जा रही है कि राष्ट्र विरोधी है या एंटी नेशनल है, उसको जो है खत्म किया जाए।
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has asked people to be careful while issuing statements on the ongoing row. An Apex Court bench also said that it was keeping an eye on the law and order situation prevailing in the Patiala House Court complex during the hearings of the case. The Bar Council of India has also decided to crack the whip on a group of lawyers who indulged in violence at the Patiala House Court complex, saying their licenses would be suspended for life if they are found guilty.
देश के लीगल फ्रेटर्निटी के बिहाफ पे मीडिया पीपल से, पत्रकारों से इसके लिए माफ़ी मांगता हूं। ये मैं खेद प्रकट करता हूं। बार काउंसिल ने जो 15 तारीख को घटना हुई, उसके लिए बार काउंसिल ने पहले ही एक फॉर्मर हाई कोर्ट जज के नेतृत्व में, उनके चेयरमैनशिप में एक कमेटी बना दी थी। उसका जांच उनको करना है। हमने कल फिर जब दोबारा घटना हुई तो हमने एक रिक्वेस्ट किया है कमेटी को टू सबमिट इट्स रिपोर्ट विद इन ए पीरियड ऑफ 3 weeks.
The Apex Law Body has set up a 3-member committee to probe the incidents of 15th and 17th of February at the Patiala House Court, where a group of lawyers attacked media persons, Kanhaiya Kumar, and students and teachers of JNU. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
We'll keep an eye on developments there. Meanwhile, after 2 days of deliberations in its central committee, the CPIM has decided to have an alliance with the Congress in West Bengal. The party's state committee would work out other details in West Bengal and send the proposal to the Politburo, which is authorized to take a final call on the alliance. Though it was not an easy decision for the party, as it would be in direct contest with the Congress in Kerala, which goes to poll around the same time as West Bengal.
The CPM will seek the support of all democratic forces in Bengal. And on the basis of that support of all the democratic forces in Bengal, the objective would be to defeat the Trinamool Congress and remove them from the government, to isolate the BJP, and to defeat the machinations, the communal machinations that are there between the two of them. And then on that basis, the actual participation in the elections will be decided.
All right, for more on this story, we're joined by Shyam Sundar, our correspondent, joining us, in fact, from the newsroom. Shyam, quite a precarious situation there for the CPIM. You know, in West Bengal, they're having to, of course, ally with the Congress, while in Kerala, of course, they'll be against it. But if we just talk about West Bengal, that's probably the best option they could have, at the moment seen.
That's what most of the CPM leaders feel, especially from West Bengal. And of course, it is not an easy decision for CPM, and that's why it took long deliberations, late evening meetings happened, and generally practice is that state committee gives a proposal to Politburo, and after discussion in Politburo, it goes to Central Committee, and Central Committee takes the final call. But in this case, there was no unanimity in the Politburo of CPM, and this proposal then went to Central Committee. And though in Central Committee, party has decided to seek help from every democratic force in West Bengal to defeat Trinamool Congress there in the state. But there is a condition, and that is written in the first thing is the press note which came out after the Central Committee. The Congress name is not mentioned there. They have said that all democratic forces will be asked to help to defeat Trinamool Congress leader Mamata Banerjee and her government. And then there is a condition put by the Central Committee that again State Committee of CPM West Bengal has to discuss the proposal and work out the details, and then they have to send this proposal to the Politburo, and Politburo will take the final call. Though all senior leaders of CPM believe that it will not be very difficult after deliberations of State Committee, but still there is a condition because Kerala and Tripura unit of CPM, they are not very comfortable with this proposal.
That's understandable, of course. But what kind of indications coming in from the Congress's side? Have they got, of course, has the left, of course, reached out to them on another front as far as this formation is concerned in West Bengal, this alliance?
Well, there are two lines in West Bengal Congress, especially West Bengal Congress President Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and senior leader Abdul Mannan. They are the two leaders who are favoring this alliance, and they are lobbying with the central leadership of the Congress. They are openly saying that to defeat Mamata Banerjee, because they think, they say that at least in left rule, Congress was the direct force to fight with the CPM, and there was a democratic space to work. But after Trinamool Congress came to the power, people are not able to vote, and the political activists of different political parties, they are targeted by Trinamool Congress. So these two leaders are favoring an alliance with the CPM, but leaders like former WPCC President Mr. Manas Bhuiya and others, they are few in numbers, and they are not in Lok Sabha or in Assembly, but they are senior leaders of the Congress. They are against it, and but central leadership, especially Rahul Gandhi, who is taking most of the decisions of Congress now. When he was on Kerala tour, when this question was asked, he was silent on this. He didn't deny that there will be an alliance, or would there be an alliance. So central Congress leaders will be considering this proposal.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks so much for joining us on that story. Thank you. In other news, the Supreme Court has paved the way for government formation in Arunachal Pradesh. The top court vacated its status quo order on maintaining President's rule in the state. The Supreme Court's go-ahead came after examined judicial and assembly records on disqualification of 14 rebel Congress MLAs by former Speaker Nabam Rebia. Now, after looking at the records, a 5-judge constitution bench headed by Justice J.S. Kheher said that it was prima facie satisfied with the High Court order. The apex court had earlier questioned Governor J.P. Rajkhowa's use of his constitutional discretion to advance the 6th session of the Arunachal Pradesh Assembly by over a month, asking whether it was backed by sound constitutional principles. The Union Cabinet had on the 17th of February recommended revocation of President's rule in Arunachal Pradesh. The SC order comes as a blow to the Congress, which had made a strong plea to President Pranab Mukherjee against a revoking of President's rule in the state.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज जो एफिडेविट था उसको देखने के बाद यथास्थिति का जो आदेश था उसको निरस्त किया है, उसको वापस लिया है, और जो उनकी याचिका थी इस संबंध में कांग्रेस वालों की, उस याचिका को भी उन्होंने यहां से वापस भेजकर गुवाहाटी हाई कोर्ट भेज दिया है। इसलिए यथास्थिति आज निरस्त होने के बाद नई सरकार के गठन की प्रक्रिया पुनः प्रारंभ हो जाएगी।
And now on to our special series on the expectations from the Union budget. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways is seeking the Finance Ministry to increase the ministry's allocation to achieve the target of 30 km road per day. In the upcoming budget, the ministry has asked to raise the allocations by 15 to 20,000 crores. Here's more.
Rural roads will be a key thrust area for the Modi government infrastructure push. Aiming to boost job growth, the government wants to give it the highest priority in budget 2016-17. The Transport Ministry has asked for a higher financial allocation in the upcoming union budget.
First of all, I will give my plan. My budget is 45,000 crores. Probably for this budget, probably it may be increased by 15,000 to 20,000 crores I am expecting.
The government claims it's laying 18 kilometers of roads per day. It aims to take it up to 30 kilometers, for which it needs additional allocation. Last year's budget allotted 42,913 crore to roads and highways, which could go up to 57,913 crores if Gadkari's proposal is accepted. But experts doubt if additional funds will help achieve targets. For one, the National Highway Authority of India, that will play a key role in helping the government, has no less than 112 legal disputes with infrastructure companies valued at over 25,000 crore rupees.
The projects which are stalled, they required funds infusion. So that fund which will be earmarked extra will go to the stalled projects. Number two, the number of projects to be awarded this year are more than the previous year. As per the planning, it will be around 7,000 plus kilometers which have to be awarded, for which the expenditure has to be more. Besides that, completing the previous project will be also a challenge, for which more funds are required.
The ministry has also requested for 250 crore for cashless insurance for road accident victims. Rajkamal Rao's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take you through some more national news updates in Nationwide. The print and digital versions of Yearbook India 2016 and Bharat 2016 were released by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on Thursday. The digital versions of these books published by the Publications Division will be 25% cheaper than the printed versions. Also, the money earned from the sale of the e-versions will directly be transferred to the Consolidated Fund of India. Jat protesters have rejected Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar's offer to enhance quota for economically backward classes. Haryana Roadways suspended its bus services on many affected routes, with the agitation spreading further and disrupting rail and road traffic. Members of the Jat community continue to block roads on the Rohtak-Jhajjar route, disrupting supply of milk, vegetables, fruits and other items on the national highway. BJP MP Gopal Shetty has kicked up a controversy by saying suicides by farmers has become a fashion and a trend. The remarks come at a time when Maharashtra is reeling under an agrarian crisis, with 124 farmers committing suicide in the state since January this year. Congress condemned the comments, saying the insensitive remarks by Shetty show BJP's insensitivity towards farmers. An IPS officer was today found dead at the police officers' mess in Chennai. 32-year-old N. Harish was an ASP rank officer with the Directorate of the Vigilance and Anti-Corruption. Harish was reportedly upset over the delay of promotion, even as almost every one of his batchmates serving in the state were promoted. He was also facing a departmental inquiry that delayed his promotion. Without a quick break here, we'll be back with the international news in a bit. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Now, international news. And Turkey has blamed the PKK for the bomb blast that rocked its capital Ankara on Wednesday. While the PKK has denied any involvement in the attack, the situation is likely to inflame tensions over Turkey's growing involvement in the war in Syria. 28 people were killed in the attack yesterday. Here's more.
Turkish authorities detained 14 suspects for a car bomb blast that killed 28 people on Wednesday evening. A Syrian national who had registered as a refugee was suspected to be behind the attack. 61 people were injured when the explosives-laden car detonated near a busy intersection, 500 meters from Parliament and Army headquarters in Ankara.
Bugün elde ettiğimiz veriler ışığında kesin bir şekilde bu saldırının Türkiye içindeki bölücü terör örgütü mensuplarıyla Suriye'den sızan YPG mensubu bir kişinin birlikte gerçekleştirdikleri ortaya çıkmış bulunmaktadır.
Hours later, Turkish warplanes bombed the Haftanian region in northern Iraq, killing 50 members of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, including senior leaders.
Ayrıca gece boyu süren yoğun istihbari ve emniyet çalışmalarımız, takiplerimiz sonucunda 9 kişi gözaltına alınmıştır. Soruşturma derinleştirilerek sürdürülmektedir. Bu saldırının her aşamasında katkıda bulunan bütün unsurlar tek tek çıkarılacak ve adalete teslim edilecektir.
Meanwhile, a Syrian Kurdish party leader denied Turkish accusations, claiming that Turkey is trying to escalate fighting in northern Syria. Wednesday's attack is the latest in a series of bombings, mostly blamed on Islamic State. It comes after last month's suicide bombing by the Islamic State in Istanbul that claimed lives of 11 tourists. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
EU leaders go into a make-or-break two-day summit in Brussels starting tonight as the union faces difficult compromises to keep Britain in the bloc. Prime Minister David Cameron's demand for key reforms in return for Britain's continued membership has exposed a rift over whether the EU's future is to move closer together or to ease ties, becoming a loser group of distinct sovereign nations.
A Brexit or not? That is the question at the heart of a crunch EU summit in Brussels. EU leaders will try to strike a deal on reforms demanded by British Prime Minister David Cameron, but there are divisions. It seems the EU and the UK are on the edge.
No government can go to a parliament and say, this is our proposal, can you give a guarantee about the result? This is in democracy not possible. Therefore my answer is the European Parliament will do the utmost to support compromise and a fair deal, but I can't preempt the result in the European Parliament.
Cameron has been in Brussels to drum up last-minute support for the EU reform demands. He has met the European Parliament's president, who said members would not block a deal to keep the UK in the EU, but may not back it fully.
Such political operations are always fragile. We have to find a compromise between 28 member states, and then a compromise between the 28 member states and the Commission and the Parliament as European institutions. The European Parliament has not a veto. I refuse completely this kind of rhetoric. What we are doing is quite easy to explain.
The proposal I have put on the table is a fair and balanced one, I have no doubts. It helps the UK to address all the concerns raised by Prime Minister Cameron without compromising on our common freedoms and values.
But there are some outstanding issues which need to be resolved before any deal can be reached. Concerns in Eastern Europe that a deal to help Cameroon cut immigration by barring low-paid EU workers from British benefits will hurt their citizens. French insistence that the City of London match Eurozone regulation. Efforts to ensure British exemptions from closer EU integration do not become more widespread. Reluctance in some capitals to commit to future. At home, Britons are voicing differing opinions as to whether the United Kingdom should remain in the European Union or not.
I think we should stay in the EU. I think leaving now would be detrimental to our country. We've been in it too long, there's too much involved in the EU to be leaving now.
Personally, leave the EU. I think we've got more prospects as our own, sort of leaving and doing things ourselves.
Cameron hopes to cut out a deal he wants, one he would use to push for continued EU membership in a referendum to be held in Britain as soon as June, or else that much talked about Brexit could soon become a reality. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now for more international news updates, let's take you through Global Buzz. US President Barack Obama is to visit Cuba in the coming weeks as part of a broader trip to Latin America. He will be the second sitting US president in history to travel to the island after Calvin Coolidge in 1928. Republicans have criticized the visit, saying that it should not take place while the Castro family is in power. Ugandans voted in presidential polls today, with veteran leader Yoweri Museveni widely expected to extend his power into a fourth decade. Museveni and his ruling National Resistance Movement Party are predicted to win a fifth term. Russia has filed a lawsuit against Ukraine over a disputed $3 billion loan that Moscow says Kiev has refused to pay back. Moscow and Kiev have been locked in a protracted standoff of the money that the Kremlin gave to Ukraine in 2013. Pope Francis on Wednesday rallied against immigration policies that forced many underground into the hands of drug gangs. After he conducted mass at the Mexico-US border, he lamented the suffering many migrants face on their path to a better life. Pope Francis also urged the faithful to keep an open mind. And now let's get you all the latest from the world of sports in Sportsbeat. The Indian women's cricket team took an unassailable 2-0 lead in the 3-match ODI series against Sri Lanka with a 6-wicket win in the second match in Ranchi. Opting to bat first, Sri Lanka could manage only 178 for 9 in the allotted 50 overs. Indian skipper Mithali Raj then remained unbeaten on 53 to guide her team home with as many as 41 balls to spare. Indian tennis veteran Liana Pace and his French partner Jeremy Chardy stormed into the quarterfinals of the Delray Beach Open with a straight sets win. The unseeded Indo-French pair took an hour and 12 minutes to get the better fourth-seeded American combination of Eric Buterak and Scott Lipsky 6-4, 7-5 at the Delray Beach Tennis Center. Germany's World Cup winning captain and coach Franz Beckenbauer has been warned and fined by FIFA's Ethics Committee. Beckenbauer had been provisionally banned for failing to cooperate with FIFA's inquiry into the bidding processes for the 2018 and 2022 World Cups won by Russia and Qatar respectively. Cristiano Ronaldo's 33rd goal of the season helped Real Madrid towards the Champions League quarterfinals with victory over Roma in the first leg of their last 16 tie. The Portugal forward and Jesse scored a goal each in the second half to hand Madrid a crucial 2-away goal advantage. Joe Wilfried Tsonga was the victim of a huge shock at the Rio Open after losing to world number 338 Thiago Monteiro. The Brazilian, who entered the tournament as a wild card, was able to spring a surprise by edging a nip-and-tuck match 6-3, 3-6, 6-4. Tsonga, ranked 9th in the world, was dumped out in the first round of the Rio Open despite sharing similar statistics as his victorious opponent. And exciting news for Barcelona and Lionel Messi fans. After winning the most Ballon d'Or awards and the Guinness World Record for the most goals scored in a European calendar year, the 5-time World Player of the Year achieved another feat as he passed 300 Primera Division goals when Barcelona scored a 3-1 victory over Sporting Gijón in La Liga. It took Messi just 25 minutes of play to reach the landmark, and 6 minutes later, he made it to 301. We end this edition of the news now with visuals of the Argentine hitting another milestone and look at some of his superb goals scored over the years.
Go hard. 300 La Liga goals for Lionel Messi. 5, 4, 3, 2, I got one shot. You lose the love and respect, that's where the trust stop. New work, top drop. I roll up every 15 minutes like a bus stop. And you can smell the smoking when I burn out. And you can catch me riding dirty, but my car not.
Messi makes it 2.